quote, the old bridge in Dorset, and I looked down to the, quote, new bridge, and thank God we swam down there and we came back again, but we got skunked. But I thought my favorite moment, I got to go back to the first moment, the first day at Otter. From the age of 9, 15, I'd gone to Camp Otter, which was, to say the least, it was north of Kingston, a little plush. Now, I've been hired as a counselor, and, as the Rogers Clarks did, they would pay you sort of for 7 weeks, and then they'd get you to beg to go out and work for free for another 2 weeks. Not knowing this, the first year, I'm going up 10 days early. Oh, this sounds like a good deal. Went up in remember the camp station wagon? Went up in the camp station wagon. Mr. Rogers was driving. Jim Day was in the shotgun seat. Myself and Dave Walker were in the back. And as we drove, and Dave and Mr. Rogers had their conversation, and I talked to Dave, I started to get a feeling this was not going to be Camp Otter. And I wondered how long now I was up to about 10 and a half weeks by the time I had committed all of this. And we drove into camp. Now, Camp Otter had gorgeous cedar. We drove in, came around the bend, where eventually Jane's craft center of that was moved. And I looked over, and I turned to Dave and I said, "What are those?" "Those are the cabins." So we got out of the car and we walked over to cabin 2. And on the roof was Bill Cruson, putting a roof on, and this very strange acting character, whom I thought was Bill's son. It turned out his name was William Knight Dustin. Well, it's only William Knight Dustin could do was getting married to her.
And it was very quiet. There was some laughter there, but everything was kind of serene. And then they left. Tom and I were up there for about 2-3 weeks in. And we had the job of pre-soling the buildings.
Yeah.
And we worked in the main camp for the first week. It was quiet. We did a lot of reminiscing about the summer. And just enjoyed ourselves. But then we got down to Sandy Beach. And there's where it all began. We started with Jane's cabin. And I remember it was a very quiet, beautiful, fall afternoon. And Tommy and I were working up down there, putting the trees all up. Full step. And as we were working, we said very little to each other because we just took in everything. And all of a sudden, we heard something. And I said, "Tom," I said, "there's somebody swimming at the back." I went up there. There's nobody there. That's what we realized. The spirit of the campers are always there. And as we went on through the week, we heard the dinner bell ring. We heard somebody on the tennis court hit balls. And we looked at each other, and we tried to figure out, are we really imagining this? Or is there something really taking place? And it went on like that for a good part of the week that we were down there. But it's something that a lot of you had a chance to experience was the week or 2 or 3 weeks after camp, when all the campers left. How quiet it was. Tommy and I said very little to each other a lot of times. Sometimes I found a tear coming to my eye because of what took place during the summer. And it was just it was a good time in my life. It was a good time in, like I say, all of our lives to sort things out and to get kind of a perspective on things. And I appreciate the opportunity to have a chance to work with you. Thank you.
Wow, what an extraordinary place this is. You know, after all these years, and after all the memories that were created in the 40s and the 50s and the 60s and the 70s, all of us can get together and have all these common experiences that we can talk about that seem like they happened yesterday. kids a ton. Oh, by the way, I'm Tom Sanderson. I might have forgot that part. But I talk about my kids, about things that happened in their early lives. And a tear comes to my eyes because I never got a chance to put them in that kind of an environment where they could have had this kind of experience. And, for those of us who have had kids and haven't been able to do that, I think we all try to impart a little bit of this experience. And so, although we've all got a chance to tell each other about our stories, I think we've all, almost every day, given some of these stories to other people around us as well. And that day that newspaper came out with George Walker's article, my phone rang off the hook from people that I told the stories about this camp to. And I guess that's what makes it different. Every day, in my head, I go through things that have happened. And hopefully that when we have this reunion in 2050 or whatever, we'll have other embellishments and enhancements of all these stories. But what I was driving at is that every time I have an experience that was a positive experience, that I can tell my kids who miss this experience, I let them know that something extraordinary happened to me and to all those people that I can impart some of this. And I think they understand all that. They have to, because the pictures that I put down there are in our living room, okay? And they have to look at them every day. My canoe paddle, the one that George warned me that if I broke it one more time or cracked it one more time, I wouldn't be able to paddle all the way down to me. Okay? They probably should have been sewn up somewhere along the line, but did manage to make it through. The writing that's on the paddle has faded away. You can hardly see the little note that I wrote about Hudson Bay or bust. It was in red paint in the Arts Lodge, where Tony Grenzi drove us all crazy.
Crying babies. Everybody's getting ready to run. And a Boy, it's taking a long time. Okay.
Right. Like me. Are you in charge of this one? Oh, yes, I can do this.
Let's go. Wait a minute.
Cheeks. Cheese.
Before we leave,
Is this yours? Yeah, I think
Trying to get 60 people on the stairs is no easy task.
Nancy, are we all?
That's a good picture,
There
isn't
they
it?
are.
Stop taking
I think I
one.
wish I could
Here's
retrofit
your
this
camera.
camp experience with some of our windows.
Someone take a picture.
All these other nice little phrases. So much.
Better just be a push button one.
I guess that's good language. All right, forget them.
Okay, they all went on a canoe trip together, guided by
In your left rear pocket. I mean, it's even a flat pocket for crying. I'm going to sing a song.
We'll help you.
Sing a song.
Sing a song. Then
Okay, here's one song everybody knows. Do your anything, they walk to and fro. Can you tell me? Can you tell me about? Can you throw them over your shoulder like a cannonball soldier? Do your thing.
you may talk about your battles and see your endurance, for your freest and the best, and we want no other happiness but theirs. Oh, Otter, Camp Otter, looking down from the great great shores, may she ever be glorious and be dear to us forevermore. Oh, you sound of the white throats and the chatter of the squirrels, that brings the mighty wagon of the early rising sun, and the cool refreshing shivers of the early morning sun. All the sports to the day belong. All the sports to the day belong. How the venting rattle and the crying of the wind, and the glass be how the whippoorwill. In the evening by the campfire, or in the bungalow, or the slumber in the tents when all is still. Oh, Otter, Camp Otter, looking down from the great great shores, may she ever be glorious and be dear to us forevermore. Good night.
It was a great